Hello and welcome to Parallax, where we look at life from how we work. Joining us today is Keia Butts. Keia is a facilities planner at Morgan State University. Keia, thanks for joining us. Talk us through what a typical day looks like as a facilities planner.
Currently, we're working on submitting our 5-year capital budget, and we're also working on our SCAP report. So the typical day would be coming to the office, check emails, and then contact different departments within the university to see what type of data we need. So it's a lot of gathering information on buildings, on usage, and problems.
So you're looking 5 years down the road at the budget of potential issues that are coming up, or buildings that are going to be built or demolished?
Well, buildings that are going to be built, buildings that need to be demolished. If there are any renovations to buildings, we're looking at things such as those. 9 times out of 10, if it's on the capital budget or if it's money that we're requesting for a building, there's already a problem or a need for that building.
So there's a 5-year plan, but you also have a 10-year plan, a more comprehensive master plan. Talk a little bit about how that process plays out in your shop.
Currently, I'd say in the past 2 years, we've been working on the 10-year master plan, facility master plan. The facility master plan looks at the growth, how the campus is going to be developed within the next 10 years. And I'd say this is 15, we've started in 2012, and through the process, we've gotten every department on board, every school program within Morgan, as well as staff, faculty, and students, just to take a look at, what's happening at Morgan, how are your buildings being used, how are your programs being used. We even look at, outside of buildings, we even look at streetscapes, paths, and how spaces are being used. Within this, we've developed the bicycle master plan and pedestrian master plan to look at the outside and exterior.
What's your background? I mean, you obviously can think big picture about stuff. I have trouble picturing what I'm going to be doing next Wednesday, so I have a lot of respect for what you do. But what's your background before coming on as a planner at Morgan?
Before I worked at Morgan, I actually worked. You don't know this part. I worked in Savannah, Georgia. So I've also worked in Savannah, Georgia, and the town of Bluffton in South Carolina, doing community planning work for those cities. But prior to that, I am from Baltimore. I did work for the Baltimore City Mayor's Office of Neighborhoods, and I also worked for Baltimore City Planning Department doing community planning for Northeast Baltimore. So.
We talked a little bit about where you are now professionally. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the path that led you there, because you have landscape background, graphic design background, city planning under your belt. So talk a little bit about your education, just how you ended up as a facilities planner.
Okay. Well, my first start, I have a bachelor's in interior design, in art. And when I first started out, I worked for an interior architect, designing interior spaces for buildings in Prince George's County, Montgomery County, and some in the city. And from there, I worked, did community planning work. Another one of my passions is working with community. I love people, and people are interesting. Let's just say that. So I understand people. I also like communities. I understand, community change. Communities need, people like to talk, and people have problems, and communities have issues. And I think it's important in communities for people to be heard. So I was very interested in community planning. And then from there, I guess the graphics comes in because I've always liked art. And I think a lot of times I like to use the design work when I work with Morgan Community Mall at work, just because it's community-based, and also social change, just try to get the message out, to better enhance the community.
So what's it like to walk through a community space that you had a hand in creating?
For me, it's good. I feel good that I can help out. For the community person, it feels good to see that they've always gotten what they wanted, or what, they were heard, their voice was heard. Before, there's Lake Montebello, which at one point was just the lake. and with the road that went around it. When I was in the planning department, I helped work with that project to get the pedestrian paths, the activity paths within that. And so just to actually go by it and see it being used each day, it really makes me happy because people are enjoying the space, and they should.
Keia, thanks so much for coming out, talking to us about what it is like as a facilities planner at Morgan. You can find more information out about the university at morgan.edu, and you can find more information out about Keia in the facilities and planning tab on that website. Until next time, keep it between the white line and the ditches.